Tom Cruise doesn't shout, he dismantles. Hollywood might see endless drama, but Tom Cruise rewrote the rulebook on composure. From awkward games to disrespectful pranks, these 10 legendary moments show why you never corner Cruise. 1. Ellen's Britney versus Christina question.
And Britney or Christina?
What do you mean?
Britney Spears. I'm not even sure what I mean.
I've never thought about it.
All right.
And here's where it all starts. Light, almost harmless. Ellen DeGeneres throws out a playful question. Britney or Christina, you know, one of those surface-level, audience-pleasing games. But Cruise, he just freezes, doesn't flinch, don't bite. Instead of laughing it off, he calmly redirects, almost like the question doesn't even exist. The silence between Ellen fumbling for a save and Tom sitting there, unshaken, was louder than any answer. This wasn't rude. It was calculated. A clear signal. Tom Cruise doesn't play these little on-camera games that strip him down to cheap sound bites. He's not a tabloid headline. He's not your quick laugh. I must say, it was almost more shocking than if he had answered because it told you everything about him. He controls the room, he decides the boundaries, and no host, no matter how big, gets to define him. What about you? Would you have played along or shut it down like Tom? 2. The Matt Lauer clash, psychiatry debate.
She said that this particular thing helped her feel better, whether it was the antidepressant or going to a counselor or a psychiatrist.
Matt, you have to understand this. Here we are today, where I talk out against drugs and psychiatric abuses of electric shocking people, okay, against their will, of drugging children with them not knowing the effects of these drugs. Do you know what Adderall is? Do you know Ritalin? Do you know now that Ritalin is a street drug? Do you understand that?
The difference is this was not against her will, though.
Matt,
but this wasn't against Brooke's will.
Matt, I'm asking you a question.
I understand there's abuse of all of these things.
No, you see, here's the problem. You don't know the history of psychiatry. I do. All it does is mask the problem, Matt. And if you understand the history of it, it masks the problem. That's what it does.
So postpartum depression to you is
Matt,
kind of a little psychological Google.
Matt pushed. Tom didn't budge.
Just asking, what would you call it?
Matt, that is the post. Now you're talking about two different things.
But that's what she went on the antidepressant for.
But what happens, the antidepressant, all it does is mask the problem. There's ways of vitamins and through exercise and various things. I'm not saying that that isn't real. That's not what I'm saying. That's an alteration of what I'm saying. I'm saying that drugs aren't the answer. That these drugs are very dangerous. They're mind-altering, antipsychotic drugs. And there are ways of doing it without that so that we don't end up in a... And to talk about it in a way of saying, well, isn't it okay, and being reasonable about it when you don't know, and I do. I think that you should be a little bit more responsible in knowing what it is. Because you can...
But then came the heavyweight round. Matt Lauer, 2005, The Today Show. This wasn't playful. This was fire. Matt pressed him on antidepressants, specifically Brooke Shields' use of them. He thought he had Cruise cornered. Wrong. Tom didn't raise his voice. He didn't blink. He flipped the entire interview upside down. Suddenly, Matt, the host, was the one being grilled. Do you know what Adderall is? Do you know Ritalin? Do you know that it's a street drug? Cruise asked rapid fire, like a lawyer dismantling a case. And here's the crazy part. Matt kept trying to soften the blow, to move it back into friendly talk. But Cruise wouldn't let go. No, you see, here's the problem. You don't know the history of psychiatry. I do. That line, I do, was a mic drop. The audience felt it. The energy flipped. Lauer looked like the one unprepared. And Tom? He sat there calm and steady, never once letting frustration crack his voice. Pure control. Tell me honestly, have you ever seen an actor dismantle a journalist this cleanly? 3. Peter Overton.
What do you mean, Peter?
You were married for 10 years?
Listen, we raised children. You know, I mean, how do you answer that? How do you answer that question? she's someone that I plan on getting married again.
You do?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
And having kids?
absolutely.
But Nicole was a major part of your life and a love of your life at the time.
I loved Nick very much. There's no question.
Would you like Nicole to remarry?
Yes. I want Nicole to be happy. That's what I want.
And do you have a relationship where you talk, it's a parenting relationship, and talk professionally about each other's work?
Listen, here's the thing, Peter.
Yeah.
You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
I suppose they're questions, though,
Peter.
that people want to know.
Peter, you want it.
Pushes too far. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. Australian journalist Peter Overton went straight for the personal jugular, asking Cruise if Nicole Kidman was the love of your life. On paper, maybe it sounds like curiosity, but when you're Tom Cruise, that's a landmine. At first, Tom gave polite answers, talked about raising kids, about loving Nicole, and about wanting her to be happy. But then Overton pushed again, and you could see it, the shift. Cruise leaned forward, stared him down, and said it coldly, "You're stepping over a line now." That silence afterward? Brutal. Overton stuttered, trying to justify himself. I suppose these are questions people want to know. But Tom cut him with a simple, piercing, "You want to know." No shouting, no drama, just a masterclass in boundary setting. Tom reminded everyone watching, you can dig all you want, but when it comes to his private life, he calls the shots. 4. The tariff question, political trap.
To ask this question to anyone who's up for it. I think, so I watched the film and I saw that it was filmed in many different locations around the world, including Africa. And of course, we all are aware of the tariffs that President Donald Trump has been imposing on overseas productions and films. So is this particular movie under that tariff? And also, how much of the film was shot overseas? I think that's a fair answer. All right. Can we move on?
Now, this one was sneaky. During a global press junket, an Asian reporter dressed up a political question as harmless curiosity. He brought up Trump-era tariffs, overseas filming, and whether Tom's movie fell under those restrictions. The trap was clear: drag Cruise into politics, stir headlines, and create controversy. Most actors stumble, either dodging clumsily or giving some canned answer. Not Tom. He didn't argue, didn't explain, and didn't take the bait. He just looked at the reporter, shifted his expression ever so slightly and said, "Can we move on to the next question? Please?" Boom. The silence after that was deafening. The whole room felt it. He gave nothing away. No headline, no soundbite, no slip. Sometimes the sharpest shutdown isn't words at all. It's knowing when to cut the mic with silence. 5. Sophia Bella interview, Russell Crowe, fight question.
These high standards for yourself with these stunts, but everyone else has to step up. Russell Crowe has said that in this film, he plays Dr. Jekyll. You have a fabulous fight scene, and he said you both had a discussion. You said, you know what, let's both just absolutely go for it.
Yeah. And look, he's an amazing athlete. He's a very good stuntman himself also. And, you know, if you look at that, the fight sequence that we have together, it was, we really had a lot of fun doing that.
He said he got bruised. I don't know how much fun he had.
Both of us got bruised. Look, when he picks me up and slams me on that table, you know, he's...
It's a real table.
Yeah, he's got to do it.
So do you walk away from that and go, he would actually beat me if we went at it properly? If you had a fight properly?
Why do you ask that question? It's like, I don't even think of stuff like that. I don't even think like I'm going to fight my friend.
That's right, because you're always thinking of the audience when you're making things.
Exactly. He's my friend. You know, that would never happen.
Just when you think questions can't get stranger, one reporter asked Tom about his co-star Russell Crowe. They were discussing a fight scene, bruises, and the usual stunt talk. Then came the curveball. But in a real fight, could you beat Russell? That's when Cruise's face hardened. He stared at the reporter and asked, flat and icy, "Why do you ask that question?" The room froze. He wasn't joking. He wasn't amused. He cut straight through the nonsense. Then he followed up. Crow's his friend, a talented athlete, someone he respects. Fighting him wasn't even a thought. That's the part people miss. Tom doesn't just dodge dumb hypotheticals. He dismantles the intent behind them. He made it clear he won't let interviewers pit him against friends for cheap laughs. It was short, sharp, and honestly kinda chilling. That question died right there on the floor. And Tom never broke composure. 6. Red carpet water prank.
Yeah, but it's about a family. It's about the journey of this family. Yes. Now, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Come here. What's so funny about that? It's ridiculous. Do you like making less of people? That's really. Hey, no. Don't run away. Don't run away. That's incredibly rude. I'm here giving you an interview and answering your questions, and you do something really nasty. You're a jerk.
This might be Tom Cruise's most famous shutdown of all time. He's on the red carpet. Fans everywhere. Cameras flashing. When a supposed reporter suddenly aims a fake microphone and squirts water right in Tom's face. Most celebrities would have lost it. Stormed off, shouted, maybe even shoved back. Not Cruise. He just stood there, dripping wet, staring dead at the prankster. And then, calmly, almost like a teacher scolding a child, he asked, "Why would you do that?" He repeated it again and again, each time locking eyes harder, making the man shrink in his own skin. The longer Tom stood there, the more uncomfortable the prankster became. No chaos, no shouting, just icy composure. Finally, Tom delivered the knockout. That's incredibly rude. It wasn't anger, it was a disappointment, and that made it sting 10 times worse. The guy's prank collapsed on the spot, and the clip went viral as proof. Tom Cruise doesn't lose control, he makes you regret testing him. 7. Hypothetical mask. Question: is he normal?
Back to Mission Impossible, one of my favourite bits of tech in that movie is, of course, the masks, right? And the reveal. If you could have a mask of just an average person, no one knows who you are, and you could walk about your life, no one knows that you're Tom Cruise, what are you doing?
Beg your pardon?
What are you doing? Like, it's not you.
What would I do?
Yeah, what would you do? No one knows it's you. They can't be there.
No, but I just do the same thing I always do.
Go watch movies.
Go watch movies. Go make movies. Go tour the world. I feel look, it's a privilege. It's a dream of mine my whole life to do what I do and travel the world, the places where I was in America, and just work in these environments. And the kind of welcome that I get, I never take it for granted. It's very beautiful. So I enjoy it.
In another interview, a reporter tried being clever. He asked if Tom could wear a disguise, walk down the street, and live a normal life. The implication? Tom wasn't a real person anymore. Most stars would have laughed nervously or dodged. Tom didn't. He flipped the question inside out. He said that even if he wore a mask, his life wouldn't change. He'd still travel, meet people, and make movies, because that's his dream. He didn't need to argue that he's normal. He reframed it as a privilege. I get to live my dream every single day. The question melted into something pointless, and Tom came out sounding even more grounded. That's the key. He never lets the media define him. He defines himself. And in that moment, he reminded the world that confidence isn't about defending your image, it's about knowing who you are. 8. Jimmy Kimmel, out of touch accusation.
And to be honest, I use you as a distraction to get to my car.
So I'm trying to help you out with that.
Appreciate that. But are there times where you just want to get to where you're gonna go? And can you even, could you get on public transportation or go to a museum?
Look, I'm ready for whatever's gonna happen. So I don't change my life, but look, I like talking to people, and as I said, I make my movies for them. And I do go on transportation. My security loves that. Sometimes I'll put on my hat, my earphones, and I'll just go in and get on the tube just if I want to get to the studio.
Does that work? Do people stop you?
Sometimes.
It does?
Sometimes it works. Sometimes, people are, during rush hour, I go in and I'll be there. And I remember one time I was there and there's like 14-year-old kid. This girl was there, and everyone was looking at their phones, and I just saw her. I looked over, and kind of my head's down. I got my baseball cap, and she's just staring at me like this. And I looked at her, and she looked at me, and she just looked around the subway like.
Late night hosts love poking at celebrities, and Jimmy Kimmel thought he had a good one. He teased Tom Cruise about being so unreachable that fans probably couldn't imagine him taking the subway. It was meant as a jab, painting him as too big for the real world. But Tom flipped it beautifully. Instead of brushing it off, he told a story about sneaking onto the London Tube, hiding under a hat like an ordinary commuter. He even recalled the moment a teenager recognized him in a packed carriage while everyone else was glued to their phones. The audience roared. Kimmel's attempt at mockery became a stage for Tom's charm. That's the Cruise effect. When you expect him to be defensive, he disarms you with authenticity. He doesn't deny who he is, but he also proves he's more grounded than critics want to believe. 9. Collateral interview. Al Pacino role, insult.
Very well, thank you.
So when I read about this movie, I said, well, this is a typical movie for Al Pacino or for Robert De Niro, and then you went and...
I mean, I don't get afraid to take on characters. I get excited, you know. There's always that question of, is it going to work? Will I be able to do it? To what level? But I really enjoy starting a character and just having at it, you know, and see what happens.
Press tours are supposed to sell movies, but sometimes journalists try to corner stars. During the promo for Collateral, one interviewer decided to take a cheap shot. Instead of praising Cruise's chilling role as Hitman Vincent, the reporter suggested it would have been better for acting legends like Al Pacino or Robert De Niro. For most actors, that's a gut punch. For Tom, he didn't blink. He leaned forward, calm and unshaken, and explained exactly why he took the role. He spoke about pushing himself, seeking challenges, and exploring the craft of character work. No flustered defense, no awkward pause, just raw confidence in his artistry. By the time he finished, the insult had transformed into a showcase of his passion. That's why Cruise endures, because he doesn't let others define his worth. He defines it himself. 10. Manners, check. Mic drop.
Take responsibility for what you want to know. Don't say what other people. This is a conversation that I'm having with you right now.
You're right.
Okay. So I'm just telling you right now. Okay? Just put your manners back in.
Do you think I was out of line?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I apologize for that sincerely.
Good.
And just when you think he's done, Tom Cruise delivers one of his most legendary shutdowns ever. Same Collateral press circuit, same pushy interviewer. The guy just kept poking, kept pressing, until finally Tom looked him dead in the eye and said, "Put your manners back in?" It wasn't a shout. It didn't even raise the volume. But it landed like a thunderclap. The reporter froze, visibly embarrassed. You could feel the whole room shift. In just 6 words, Tom reset the balance of power completely. That line, short, sharp, unforgettable, became one of the most replayed Tom Cruise interview moments online. Because sometimes the strongest shutdown isn't a rant or an argument. It's a perfectly timed mic drop. Tom Cruise doesn't need to shout to win. He turns traps into lessons, insults into stories, and pranks into warnings. That smile he carries, it isn't weakness. It's composure. And when interviewers cross the line, he doesn't explode. He outclasses them every single time.